Good morning. Wait. Hi, how are ya? Here, let me. There we go. Hi, how are ya? Don't mind me, I'm just being a dork. I'm not hiding because of anything new. Not yet. Hint, hint. Wah! Oh, hello! Congrats on first, by the way, Himiko. It's actually funny watching you get it, like, literally after I press go live. You're one of the most efficient people I've ever seen. I don't know whether to be impressed or scared. But grats. Grats on the first and the cute little dances. I gotta adjust myself in my chair. Uh-oh. I'm stuck. Okay, I'm less stuck. Dang it, Twitch didn't load in time. Oh no, I'm sorry, Pinguina. I have too much free time. You know what? That's fair. I feel that. But yes, hello. It is I, the Frenchiest Fry. I haven't heard that in like 7 years, but there it is. It's me, saying old irrelevant shit. Alright, let me get my tablet booted up. There we go. But how are you guys doing this morning? I have Desmond tab permanently open? Are you sure you want that? Pinguina, I mean, I'm flattered, but also I'm a little scared for your computer. Nah, I don't want to yawn. Damn it. I'm always yawning when I first get on here. I guess that's why I have a counter. Computer runs fine. Oh no, I'm not worried about your well, I'm a little worried about your computer. I'm more worried about, like, the implications. Ah, thank you, Pinguina. Alrighty. But yeah, as you see today in the title, and it is Worldbuilding Wednesday, as people have been so aptly calling it, we're going to be working on my maps again, the incarnate maps. Specifically, I'm going to be working on zooming in, if that makes sense. We're going to kind of hone in on a location, and I can show you how to pick a good spot for a city or a settlement, and depending on the race you're putting this down for, you can get pretty creative with it. For instance, if you're using a human, like you're just putting down some humanoid race, a race that's pretty much identical to humans, maybe they just live longer and have pointy ears, you know, elves. It's more of the fact that I like to watch you, and it's a real bother having to click the Twitch link. Oh, that's really sweet. That's actually really precious of you. I feel lucky. Weh. Also, my world the thief. I'm good. It is Worldbuilding Wednesday. But I'm doing good. Like I said, we're going to be working on honing in on a region instead of making an entire world map. If it would load. There we are. Because last week I made... Here, we can actually just hop over there now. It's not hurting anyone if we do it right now, right? Right? Alright, let's hop over here. Yeah, I have my clip studio on, but that's not what we're working on today. Today we're working on this. Oh, that's what I was trying to not get done. Whatever. But yeah, today we're working on this lovely piece. Let me fix it a bit. There we go. That way I know where it's cutting off on the screen here. And yeah, last week I made this. I played around with the landscape after I came up with a few fault lines. Fault lines being where plates converge with each other. For those of you who weren't here last week to hear my spiel on it, and for those of you who, I guess, missed all of science class, not science, geography. Me, I'm stupid. It seems I missed geography class. But, we all know that earthquakes are caused by plate tectonics, because plates, the Earth's crust is made up of these giant, thick plates of just land, and sometimes ocean, sometimes it's just pure ocean, and that's where we get mountains and, elevated plains, like for instance here, or here. I'm experimenting with Unreal Engine. Oh no, Himiko, I believe in you, but oh no. It resembles America a bit, if North and South were side by side. Yeah, kinda. Me trying to figure it out. Honestly, it was just random, so whatever ends up looking like it, it's fine. This is for demonstration purposes anyway. But yeah, I created this lovely little map here. Maybe I'm just sleepy. Maybe Pinguina. But that's okay. We appreciate the sleepy. We appreciate eepy friends here. So first things first, I'm gonna come in here and fix this because I put it down as like an example for something, and I never cleaned it. Oh, that is in. Not the color I would use. Here, let's... Oh. Okay. I'll run it with this first, and then I'll fix it like so. This looks awful, but whatever. I'll just keep it how it is. There we go. Now everyone gets to know that stain was there. Alright, so I'm going to make this a brand new map because we're going to be zooming in. We're going to be seeing how people put down settlements, essentially. And then we're going to figure out Angy about yawning. But then we're going to figure out exactly how cities are laid out. Just a bit. And this is getting more into... this is getting more into territory for people who... Meowski! Eek eek! Welcome in, how are you? I saw you were live earlier, but I didn't have the time. I couldn't... I had to eat and get going because I was a little late. But how are you? Alright, where is my zoom tool? What are we gonna zoom on? That's the question. What part of the map? What part of the map looks cool? What do we want to focus on here? Sleepless Minecraft. Aw. But I'm doing good. That's good. I'm doing good too. I am just now waking up and trying to figure out where we're going to focus in on this map. Because what I want to do is hone in on a specific region and then start putting down cities. I think I'm going to go with this spot. Right here. I like this little region. It looks nice. So we're going to turn this into its own map. Yeah. So what I just did was I zoomed in on a region of the world map that I made, and the program itself, it's a really nifty little thing. It starts generating it in a much higher resolution. Look at that. Look how big of a resolution that is. That is amazing. It's really well done, too. But now I can come in here and I can clean it up a little, because as you can see, there's some wonky things going on with the textures here. So let's go in and clean up my map a little bit. might... Do I want it smooth? Like so. No, that looks silly. I'll go back to this. And see, now I just go over this and clean it up and make it not look as gangly here. And also crevice in whatever mountains are hanging off of the land. Because the mountains are not in the ocean, the mountains are part of the land. Let me clean up these islands, make them look a little more nice. There we go. Oh, I'm glad it's looking good. Also, you can push the subtract button. The subtract button lets you do stuff. Let me bring this up. There we go. Yeah, if you ever need to, like, go back in and delete something, you can use the subtract button, like this. It clears it off. Like, say, maybe this is sticking out too much, and you're like, ew, no. Alright, I'm also going to add... Ooh. I'm also going to add a couple of islands here and there. Now, we didn't see these tiny little islands on the original map, and that's because they're not considered super noted or needed to be seen, at least on the large-scale map. Because they're just decorative at this point, at least for our purposes. But since this is so zoomed in, people can see the little details because people have gone in and drawn them in, like this. Even though you won't technically see this on a global map, it doesn't matter. You can still see some of it. Like this. And maybe there's like an island here that the global map didn't take note of. But, you know, the neighboring region, they know it's there, and they know people live there, and they wanna have it marked. They wanna have it marked down. Alright, so let's come in here and finish cleaning this up. Maybe make it a little stick out right here. Because like I said, these little details you can add in after making your world map, because your world map is not going to be 100% accurate. Nothing ever is. Let's add one more little island, and there we are. I'm also probably going to get rid of these trees and probably these mountains, but that's because I'm going to clean them up, because I'm zoomed in, and now I can add in more detail for the mountain ranges. So we're actually going to do that right now. I'm going to select... First I'm going to... let's see. First we'll select the mountains. And we will get rid of those. So let's delete these. And I will remember that they kind of followed this arch. Let's see. I'm going to take a picture of it, actually. We're going to take a fun little screenshot of this, so that I can remember where all of the mountain stuff is. Like so. And now we can just remove it. And I'll show you, I'll use the island to show you what I'm doing here. As a test. But because we're so zoomed in, these mountains are so big. And on the other map, they were so little. So I'm going to be cleaning it up, essentially. I can have mountains of any color I want. We can go with our standard here. And the way the mountains lined up, or how I wanted them to line up on this island, was like this. Something like this. Something like that. And let's maybe get one more big one in there. There we go. Look how nice that is. So now I can go in with my, not that, with my land brush, make sure my mountains are all on the land, just to keep it nice. And since my mountains are very green, I'm going to select these, and I'm actually going to change their color, which this program lets you do. By default, they look like this really nice, earthy color, but if you go and select all of them, as I've done with my mouse tool here, you can actually click this little bar here that says Advanced Settings, and it'll open more settings for you. And on hue, you can actually move it back and forth, and it'll turn it different colors. So I'm going to make it a green, a more yellow green, about right here. Let's see, you can also change saturation. You can make it bolder or grayer. I don't think I'm going to do too much saturation. You can also make it lighter or darker with brightness. I think I'm going to lower the brightness just a bit because I'm trying to match that green that they're sitting on. And contrast can be left alone. I'm not going to mess with that. And there we go. We've got our mountains, and they match the island's color. I think that's really pretty. So that's what we're going to be doing for the whole thing. So I'm going to come in and select as much as I can and delete it. But because I already have a screenshot of the mountains that I want and of the forest, this is fine. I know where everything's going. Alright, so let me grab my mountains again. And I'm going to make them pretty small when starting out. And I'm going to have them lip over this little peninsula here. I'm going to have them do something like this. I think that's nice. Maybe make them a little smaller and add like a couple more to decorate it. But this is probably like some really rocky crag that people don't want to mess with. Alright, let's let it grow. There we go. And make it a little bigger. Because I want it to blend in with everything. So I am slowly sizing it up the more I push it upward. As so. Because variety is the spice of life. There we go. So that's our mountain range. I'm also going to make tinier mountains and have them chilling in the sides like this. Just having a few chilling. Also, it looks like the mountain, actually, the range cuts open about here. And that's because there is a tectonic plate that's meeting right here, which means whoever lives in this region is going to get a boatload of tremors, because they're on a fault line. They're where 3 points meet. And that's gotta be fucking nuts for them. But this also means that there is a lot more room for rivers. Now, fun little fact, whenever rainwater passes over these mountains, because remember how I showed you, the wind is going to be pushing the rain. In our case, the wind is going to be pushing the rain this way because of all this lovely greenery that you see. That means that this side is going to be pretty barren. And this side, actually, let me do that. Let me grab this just a bit. And let me scoot it over. And splat. And now I grab these and scoot them a bit, because I want my mountain crag to have a little bit of space like that, like so. There we go. I wanted this to be open. But as you can see, it's pretty pale here. Pretty barren. And that's because as I let you guys know, ooh, that's a little too spicy. But as I let you guys know last week, Oh, I used this, I think. If the water is being pushed this way, the mountain is going to act as a barrier and isn't going to let this lush green happen, essentially. It's going to stop the nice green from passing over, really, and you're going to be left with this giant patch of trees and greenery on one side of the mountain, and the other side is going to be this just barren landscape for a while, which is why you see it over here as well. You see that this part of the mountain is actually really lush and green, and I've showed it. I showed Whoa, blip. Aw, have a good day at work, homie, and thank you for the Betty. But yeah, let's see. It's not coming down that I wanted to. There we go. But as you can see, on this side of the mountains, up to about here, it's green. And then over here, it's green again. So why is that? Isn't it how winds push? Yes. Whenever the world rotates, it actually has different sections of winds that push rainwater from the ocean. So from here, it will go this way. But from where we cut off the area, there's actually a bit of wind going this way from here. Because I believe it's closer to the equator. And the Earth does this too. I believe I showed it in South America, but South America actually does this. I tried to look up South America and I typed Smouth. Smouth America. Don't mind me, I'm just dumb when it comes to writing. Alright, that is an awful looking picture. Let me find a picture real quick. Like I said, I've already shown it off, but I'd like to show it off again. I just need to find a good map of South America. This works. Okay. So, as you can see here, this is what I'm doing. Our Tradewinds for South America does this. So you can see here this huge, lush, beautiful green area. That's because the winds are coming from here and filling this basin up with lush green rainwater. But you see here, it's really, really pale yellow. That is because this part is really barren. It doesn't get rainfall. Same thing over here. This is actually pretty barren, and that's because it's a really high peak of mountains. It doesn't really get rainfall either, or it can't keep rainfall. Conversely, when you come down here, you suddenly see this jet of green, and then over here it starts getting more, less green. It's opposite of this, where here it's yellow and green, here it's green and yellow. Now, why is that? That's because just like on the world I'm creating, hi Lobo, I see the little gremlin face. But that's because on the world we're creating right now, for example's sake, the trade winds for us are doing this and hitting this mountain and stopping because mountains actually prohibit rainwater if they're high enough from going over them. So they're barren here. And then it does the same thing over here. Winds and rainwater are going this way. And then this stops it, and it gets really dry, but they're not as high as up here, so it kind of teeters out, and it still gets a little bit of rain. So you can see this interesting little streak for South America. That's what we've done here. You can see that sun green, and you can see that desertous barrenness, and you can see the same thing here. You can see it's green here, and then it gets really, really dry here. That's because the mountains here are fucking huge, and they are blocking most of that rainwater. I'm sure there's some greenery here and there, but this is by and large a savanna. This is actually not located where South America is. It is actually a little higher than that, so it has a lot more quality time with sun. So the sun scorches a lot of this part of the area, a la the Saharan desert. So we're messing with part of a desert, essentially. Now that doesn't mean I'm not... Oh, hiccup. That doesn't mean I'm not going to go in and clean it up just a bit. As so. But that does mean we're not going to see... let's do this. Maybe I need a bit more. Getting some quality time with the sun today and tomorrow. Ayy. I hope that doesn't mean you're dying of sun exposure. I actually can't stand the sun. No offense to Leon. I love Leon, but the sun itself I can't handle very well. I know he's the sun bear and all, but I can't do it. Not the real sun. All right. So I've colored in my stuff. Let's not make it as barren. There we go. So I've put down my color. I'm also going to put in a bit of green here, because this is where a lot of it is pouring, basically. Same over here. On the island, it's not going to be so green, especially on this side of the mountains, so I'm going to lighten it up just a bit right there. Just a little. Me hate sun. Heck one. Yes, it is. Summer's the worst season. IMO. I'm inclined to agree with you. And honestly, Leon would too. Yeah, it's Lobo. Gotta take care of my folks' place and doing some yard work. Ah, that's what you mean. But yeah, Leon would agree with me. He'd be like, no, fuck summer. Summer sucks. Give me winter. He wants perpetual winter. And I'm inclined to agree with him. Winter is very nice. Very cozy. It's cuddle weather. Also, it's easier to handle being cold than being hot. Oh, my cat just scared me. Oh, silly Kibby. Alright, so now that we have all of this put down, we can start to add in our rivers. Now, the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my subtract tool, this thing, and I'm going to essentially make it a straight line like this. Can it work with two? Yeah, it can. So I'm going to use this brush, and I'm going to use it to erase stuff. You can eat loads of tasty foods to keep warm. Yeah, exactly. And most foods are really good, really warm. Also, during the winter, you can cook a lot more inside and not, like, bake the crap out of yourself. Because here, we have to, like, during the summer, we have to find foods that you do not cook. Like salad and sandwiches and, like, nothing involving the stove. Otherwise, it will get hot as hell here. It sucks. Yeah, exactly. Too cold? Put comfy clothes and blankets on. Too warm? Deal with it. It's like, no, I don't want to deal with it. It's not fun. Granted, I have a spray bottle. Fun fact, I actually cannot sweat. Not very well. I do not have sweat glands. Not very good ones, at least. I can sweat, but it's very, very difficult for me to. Same. Is that an Irish thing? Is that an Irish and Scottish thing? Because I don't know. But yeah, I cannot sweat for the life of me. But what I do end up doing is having a spray bottle of, like, cool water, and I just spritz the hell out of myself to simulate sweating. I think I've said this I think I've said this on someone's stream, but I don't remember whose. I think I've said this in a few streams. I was like, yeah, I can't sweat, bruh. It sucks. I mean, I guess it doesn't suck, because I'm not stinky. But I am overheating internally. Because sweating is the body's way of cooling itself down, and my body cannot cool itself down, so it's like, well, fuck, here I am, dying. But once I started getting my spritz bottle, I was fine. It's so cute too, Cecil. It's so cute too because my cat gets so scared of it. Oh my god! I just realized Leon changed his computer and his keyboard. He turned it on earlier before leaving, because I guess he's doing. Oh, I did mention it when we were playing Inscription. That's right, it was you. But yeah, it's hard for me to sweat. It sucks. But I just realized we should make a Mr. Freeze suit for Delesman. Please do. Please freeze me. But that's why sometimes you guys will hear humming behind me. And that's not to disrespect you guys, but I'm hot. And I'm going to turn on my air. You're probably gonna hear save our Betty boy. Yes, eek. You're going to be hearing a lot of it during the summer. I don't know how bad it is on stream. I have never heard it, but I'm assuming it's a soft hum of noise in the background, like a noise in the background. I'm assuming. But yeah, I'm not gonna. I can't help it, and I'm not going to. I apologize for nothing. Okay, you barely hear it. Good. I think it was for some reason I always thought it was gonna be louder. I could actually test it right now and turn it on, but it's not hot at the moment. I don't have to deal with the heat at the moment. Alright, so we're gonna start working on some rivers before I get too caught up. So the way rivers work... let me fix this. There we go. So the way rivers work is normally they are either being pulled by natural gravity and the lift of a landmass from the shore, like here, to somewhere else, a la the Nile River. The Nile River kind of works like this. Or it's coming from a mountain. So mountains, like I said, they're here and they catch rainwater, a lot of rainwater. So mountains, especially stuff like this, act as vertical basins and are home to thousands of lakes that we don't even get to see. But over time, this water and its gentle movement finds a little crack or a spot to find itself to get out of, or more rainwater is introduced and causes this flooding, and then the water escapes out of the mountain and down the basin, and over time it erodes and erodes that dirt, and it creates its own bowl and its own road, essentially, and it turns into rivers. So typically when you're making rivers, you are going to have a lot of them, like here, just all over the sides of the mountain, like that. Now I'm going to get rid of these for the moment, so we can do this in a more concise manner. But yeah, oh, and here, where all these mountains are clustered, bruh, there's gonna be a fuck ton of rivers from that. And rivers always fall down the basin. For instance, let's go back to clip. Let me make this a little easier on the eyes. There we go. So, let's say here's our big mountain boy. There he is. And this is where our water is sitting, in this basin. And here's our shoreline. The water is going to want to find a little spot in the mountain to pour down into. and then it's going to immediately find a shoreline. And over time, this river is going to end up being the main area because it has already found the path of least resistance, because water will find the path of least resistance. So let's say there's other little cracks and crevices that these waters are finding in the mountains. They are actually going to follow the path of least resistance. They're all going to latch on and hang out and then meet at this river basin. And then maybe they'll split back off if enough dirt has eroded away. But they're going to have these like big series of veins of rivers coming in and clashing with this main river. And this can be as high or as shallow of a mountain as possible. However, it's still going to do its job. So that's what we're going to be seeing over here. How am I going to erase this? Okay, so first things first, I want to do this. I'm going to have a river coming out here from this mountain. And this isn't going to be the only river coming from it. There's going to be a lot of rivers. Because, as you can see, it's a clusterfuck of mountains. Which means a lot more water that's trapped in it. So, first things first, I'm going to figure out where my basin is on this side of the river, or on this side of the mountain range, and I'm going to have a river coming off and doing its own little thing. I'll probably have the river do all sorts of squiggly little things, because it's trying to find itself. It's trying to find its way around. And maybe it'll curve into here finally. And yeah, rivers aren't straight. They hardly ever are. Unless they've been man-made. But they're gonna do these fun little zigzags like they're a piece of lightning or something. I'm also gonna come in here and make a little cutoff point. And then here, I'm also going to do that, where, here, let's zoom in, make it easier. Here, I'm going to come in and show that, once again, path of least resistance. You're gonna have water coming in and clashing with the main river, like so. And they're all coming from this mountain basin. As such. Maybe not that one. That's a little too big. There we go. That is a pretty good river, I must say. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm gonna have a second river come from here, and it's going to cross, and I'm going to have it follow the mountain a little bit. Like so. And then we'll have a few more pieces that it's connected to, like this. And remember, this spot is huge in my map. So there's going to be a boatload of rivers stemming from just this spot. Like so. I really like that, actually. That looks nice. And then maybe there's a couple more rivers over here pouring out into the ocean. Maybe not here. Maybe it does this. Maybe it does this fun little curve. Like so. And those are just the three main rivers. Yeah, those are just the three main rivers. So, we're not going to worry about the little rivers that stem off of this for now. We can worry about that if we ever zoom in a little bit more. Because let's go look at South America one more time. And specifically, we're going to go look at all of its rivers. So as you can see here, let's see. You can see how these mountain ranges have so many little lines coming off of them. Those are river basins. Those are where all of the rivers came off of at some point. Now, some of them are probably dried out, but for the most part, I'm sure that some of them are actually still active. It's just a matter of time and rain being captured in the mountains and pouring out on this side of them. However, it's clear that a lot of mountains have caught the rain on this side and has started creating a boatload of rivers. You can see these little lines. They have made a fuck ton of rivers coming from these mountains, which adds on to the lush greenery. So that means my little land here, because of this mountain range, this is going to be really lush because that's where a lot of water is coming from. And sure, maybe in bigger parts of the mountain, like here, there's some rivers like this that are coming off. Maybe the river's doing this. Maybe it's not that crazy. Actually, let's look at this real quick. Because they seem to all really connect to the same, like, big thing. Because this is the Amazon rainforest. And you see how it reaches from the mountain and gets all the way to the shoreline? That is just pure river. And look how beautiful it is. It's absolutely gorgeous. You can see the same over here, too. You see how, remember when I said this is a mountain? It's not necessarily a mountain like we know. It's like a lifted plate, kind of. And you can see here's all the river basins that were trapped within these higher elevated points of interest. Same here, there's a lake here that looks like a crevice point. Here's another river right here. It's really cool. Once you know what causes all this, you could just go onto a map and point it out and go, hey, I remember this. Same here. Here's a giant river basin, and it comes from this river that follows all the way up from this mountain. And you can see in the mountains even, you can see these giant lakes that I was pointing out. And that's because, these mountains are huge. So on my map, there's probably a big fucking lake here. I can't draw over the mountain, because it's a stamp, but that's okay. I don't mind. I mind a little. But yeah, let's look at the main river and let's see how it works. I'm gonna bring it to its own little tab real quick so that I can see it separate. And yeah, there are probably a boatload of rivers that do this and split off from this main river and find their way back down into the water as such. And maybe there's even a few more that split off like this. And maybe there's one more that splits off like this. Maybe something like that. Maybe that's what our rivers are gonna do. Because that's what our rivers do in South America. And this is an area that I am basing a lot of stuff from South America on. Also, we can come in here with a bigger pen. And we can make a giant basin. So you see here how it's opening like this as a gulf? I want to actually erase some of this. And I want to make it into a huge basin. Like what we saw in South America. And that's because these rivers have eroded over time all of this land. And same over here. It's going to be eroding. we'll do it over here. Have a little bit of erosion. And then down here, I'm gonna give it like something like this. There we go. So that's a pretty good look for some beginning rivers. I'm also going to do something similar here. I'm going to have this boy split off just a bit, and maybe something splits off from that. So this area is probably pretty wet and green too, but only around the rivers. So what I'm going to do, let's grab my brush here, and a la Nile River, I'm going to line the rivers with green. But because it's cutting through a desert, and it's pretty arid and dry, it's not going to extend much more than from here. Same thing here, I'm going to add a bit of green, just to show off that river. Because rivers, fun fact, rivers are different than oceans. So, while, I mean, of course they're different, but I'll explain what I mean here in a second. So, of course you're going to have beautiful, lush greenery surrounding a river, but why isn't it super green and pretty here? Isn't this water? Doesn't the water make it, like, grow plants and all that? You think it would, but, not really. And there's one simple reason: saltwater versus freshwater. So freshwater is coming from the mountains, is coming from rivers, because whenever the water is picked up, it leaves that salt sediment behind from the ocean. However, the oceans are very much saltwater. So this is actually where, you know, fresh and salt water meet. Which means here you'll see, oh, look at that lovely lush green, because that fresh water is feeding the plants. But then salt water clashes, and it's like, oh geez, the plants and trees and whatever else green is growing there has no evolutionary value to taking in salt water. Like, we can't drink salt water. And plants on the mainland normally don't have an ecological or an evolutionary disposition towards saltwater. I'm also going to do this. I'm going to color in this part green a little bit, because this is where the rivers meet, and I want it to be nice and green. Maybe greener here. Something like that. There we go. I'm also going to have the green follow the river. One, it's helping the river to stick out a bit more for me, and two, it's a lot more lush than the rest of the area. Granted, the area is still pretty lush, but the one around the river, it's going to be thick. It's going to be a lovely thick green. So that's what I'm going to work on here. Oh yeah, and it's going to be hella wet over here. Okay. Something like, no, that looks dumb. I'll leave that alone. Do I have any other kind of greens? Not really. Shit. Oh well. Let me get rid of some of this so I can see it a bit better. Okay, I am going to coat it over here though, because this would be super, super dark lush green. Alright, so this is going to be my rainforest slash swampy area. And the reason I say a rainforest slash swamp is because both of them are in pretty good conditions. Or pretty similar conditions. I need to get some work done, even if the sun is a deadly laser. The sun is a deadly laser. But have a good day at work. have a good work, Lobo. I believe in you. I just love that popcorn emote. It's so cute. Alrighty, now that we have our rivers down, we can start figuring out where people are going to live. And more often than not, people like to live... Oh, hello there! Cobb King of the Cod 124, a nice name! Welcome to the Bat Cafe! I hope you enjoy your stay. Enjoy a cup of tea on me. Oh, right. I need to put down forest. I forgot about that. The King of Call of Duty is here to watch. Ah, thank you. The Cobb King of Cod. Alrighty. Where are my stamps? Here. Boop, 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 boop. Oh! I have Green Mountains. Oh my god, they actually offer Green Mountains. Okay, hold up. I did not know this was a thing. Unless it's new. Hold up. Hold up, this changes the game. Let me come in here and remove some of these. Delete. And let's plug in the pretty new ones that I found. Oh my god, that's too big. Oh, that's huge. Let's shrink that boy. Oh my god, look how pretty that is! Pretty! Alright, do I have other kinds of mountains? I do, they're tall. I see. How are you today, Desmond? I am doing good, Cobb King. Thank you for asking and hopping in. How are you doing? Oh my god, can I not delete this mountain? There we go. Yeah, we're removing these mountains, because these look really fucking cool. I'm gonna use these instead. Oh, that's big. Alright, so here is my mountain range. Leon just walked in and said, "Is that the Desmond Dracula as seen on TV?" Like, no, I'm not on TV, but thank you. Yes, it is me. The famous Desmond Dracula as seen on TV. Okay, there we go. Good as well. Had to deal with God that almost destroyed 20 universes. Ah, so I see you've been playing Final Fantasy. Ah, where'd your computer go? Ah, okay. Alrighty. Oh, too big. Let's make it small. Kinda wish I had found these mountains before, though. I'll leave these guys alone. Those can stay there. But now I feel kinda silly. I could have been using these the whole time. There we go. Are there any other mountains in here I should know about? I mean, there's snowy peaks. There's these. Karsts. Karsts. No, Final Fantasy, it is all real. Oh, okay. Redeemed to hydrate and stretch. Oh! I did not see! I am sorry. Also, hi, Con! Oh, I'm gonna pop my fingers, though. Let me get a little stretch in. Unshrimp my back. Unsquimsh. Ugh, that felt nice. Ah, water. And yeah, there they are. Sorry about that. I didn't even spot them at first. Protector of the multiverse. Ah, of course, sir. I understand. What are karsts? I'm dying, hold on. I need to Google what a karst is. Because it's like this really interesting map-looking thing. Oh. Okay, so the area we're working on would not have a karst. Karsts are apparently these really, really vertical-looking mountains that seem to be more associated in the Asiatic continent. It's really pretty. They're very pretty, but for where we are geographically, they're not going to be put down. Okay, so I'm going to finish off my mountains. About that size. That's good. And remember, my mountains are green because they've been hanging out with a lot of rainwater. There we go. Batstrems times, yeah. Alrighty, and now I add in the smaller mountains down here. There we go. Works. Also, I just realized I never put down my ledges. Ah, this is a good ledge. I need it bigger, though. There we go. Yeah, I forgot to put down my ledges. Because whenever I was doing the tectonic plates, I came to the conclusion that this is a ledge where... nope, 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 nope. Okay, so where is... this works. Damn it. Close enough. How do I make my mountains go over this damn thing? Okay, I'm just gonna do this. There we go. But yeah, in the map, I did have this basin, and that's because this is where two plates are colliding and meeting each other, and this plate is sliding over this plate, which is now what I've essentially made into a river basin. I also want to clean this up just a bit. There we go. So it's probably pretty green in this part of it, at least. Because it's probably catching some water. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, now I'm going to put down my trees. Oh no, there is evil god destroying... Oh no, poor universe. Okay, jungle or swamp. Let's do jungle and swamp, honestly. Okay. So, on my map, I essentially put the trees in this area. So, I'm probably going to put trees in a lot more areas than just that. Because remember, this is a zoom in, essentially. So, I'm gonna have a bunch of trees over here. Because this is a lush basin where a hell of a lot of rain falls in. Also, trees do follow the rivers. So I'm gonna have, oh, maybe not these trees. I'll have another kind of tree follow the river. But the jungle trees, I'm gonna have all clustering around this. And they don't quite reach up here. but they do seem to stretch down the mountain range as such in my original picture. And yeah, I'm being a little loosey-goosey handed with it because I'm going to be adding in extra trees between these trees. So let's have some trees follow these rivers, and also maybe at the edge of the rivers like this. Like this and this. There we go. I like that look. So now we're going to grab up my swamp trees, because swamp trees are also pretty prevalent. And I'm going to have my swamp somewhere over here. I'm also going to just fill in these gaps with swamp trees, just to make it nice. And to break up these colors and make some disparity, instead of just this single uniform green. Oh. I can make trees go off into the ocean on accident. There we go. Now, while we know that those rivers are there, and we technically have the imagery to show where they are, we now know where to go in and destroy these trees to make way for essentially human and other race settlements, which I'll show you in just a moment. Now, I'm going to get... Let's go grab... What kind of trees did I use for this? Was it these? Let me go look for more trees. Yeah, it was this tree. So I'm going to line it up just a bit with these, but not too crazy. Actually, let me turn down the density. But I'm going to use them to just fill in the spaces here, fill in the gaps. There we go. Much nicer. Alright, now that we have our really dense forest, I'm going to save this map. What are we gonna call this? I really like this map editor. Bleh. Pastry is a big fan of world building in D&D, so this might excite them. Ooh! Well then let them know that it's called Incarnate. It's INKARNATE, Incarnate.com. I have a cat and I kissed him. Morm Kibby. But yeah, it's a really good program. And it's free. I personally have the premium membership, so I probably have more access to all of their brushes and save and cancel. Oh, whoops. I probably have more options than the free version, but it is free. You can still do this. Let's see. I'm just gonna call it New Map 2. Because I can't think of a working title for this map right now. Kim's the Kibby. I did a Kim's. I give him little Kim's. He deserve Kibs. Alrighty. There it goes. Now that it's saved, I can start working on cities. Oh goodness, Kibby. So let's go into my stamp tool, and the stamp tool has settlements. It has settlement buttons. So as you can see down here, human settlements, human buildings, elven settlements, it has dwarven settlements. Now I don't want to denote any one culture at the moment, but let's say, let's see. If this is a fantasy world and I want more than one race on it, what would live in the rainforest slash swampy area? I know humans. Humans would definitely live here. However, I'm not going to be using the stamps of a standard medieval human building because that looks fucking silly. But I am probably going to grab orcish settlements to kind of substitute the standard medieval look. Because that looks dumb. Not gonna lie. Looks dumb. So I might grab some orc stamps, like this, to show cities. Let's plump one right about here. And the reason I do that, well, I'm going to actually come in and remove some trees, like so. And we're going to scoot in slowly into the trees as such, and we're going to move the settlement in there. Because typically, when figuring out where villages and cities are, they're going to be close to a water source, whether that be a river or an ocean, although oceans are probably not as good of an idea because, you know, oceans are salt water and we can't drink that. But more often than not, they're going to be near lakes and rivers. So I scooted these guys close to the lake, and or the river, and I had them clear out the brush. So they're probably here, and yeah, they've probably cleared out these trees over the years for buildings. For agriculture and all that. As well as just building settlements. Let's see. Oh, I could have used these. These icons are good. You know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna use these and... Now I'm confused. I don't know if I should use those or not. Nah, I'll leave them alone. But since we are now working in the span of this kind of orcish look, I might plop down a few more. I'll probably put down another one over here, like maybe it's nestled in the trees a bit. Maybe they want to be protected in this lush forest. Because, fun fact, we have people actually living in the Amazon rainforest who don't have a whole lot of it cleared out. They live within the trees. Not like tree houses, but you know, they live within the lush, dense forests. They don't need to clear out nature in order to live with it. So I'm gonna have these people be similar. And then maybe there's another civilization. Maybe there's another settlement somewhere in about here. Let's delete just these, because I want to be able to see the building, or the town. But I don't necessarily want to clear out the trees, because they don't need to get rid of all of them. Also, the trees act as a really good barrier from rain, and it provides a really nice wood, as long as they're planting everything back, which I'm going to pretend these people do. They're not industrial like we are. I'm probably going to have them similar to the Amazonian tribes. So they're not going to be clearing out nature, they're going to be living with it. So they're going to be planting trees back. And maybe there's a few more little baby settlements in here that we can't see because the person, let's say the cartographer making the map, didn't know to put them down. I'm also going to have maybe one more here, and maybe one more here. Where they live on the outskirts of this forest and these lush rivers. Maybe it's a bit of a walk, or maybe they've learned how to pump water from the river using piping, some sort of piping. I know our ancestors actually used to use clay piping before we switched to metal. The first metal, one of the first metals we switched to was lead, which is actually why a lot of Romans were dying. Because Rome was using lead pipes for plumbing, and it was killing them slowly. They were literally lead poisoning themselves, but it's semantics. Before that, we used clay. So I'm thinking these guys could probably use clay as well. Because they have so many rivers, they probably have access to a lot of wet and ready red soil that we normally don't really get to, that the river has cleared away, which makes way for clay and gravel most of the time. So they probably have access to a lot of clay. Also, because of how many trees are around, they probably don't experience a whole lot of flooding. Because, fun fact, plants, shrubbery, all that, its roots as well as the plant itself actually bars from flooding. They do have to deal with earthquakes, though. So maybe they have another way of dealing with plumbing. Because if they are using clay in a regular capacity, or in a regular way like we do, or how we used to, it might disrupt it. Because the clay pots would probably be broken pretty easily. And, let's see, hold on. Let me look... hold on. No, don't move, don't move, don't move. I'm okay. There was a fucking cockroach on my wall! And he scared the shit out of me! We want... Exhume the corpse. It spooked me. I just saw something move at the corner of my eye. I look and I see a goddamn cockroach. I'm okay. How are you guys? It spooked me. Well, time to exhume the whole fucking house. Time to destroy the whole goddamn house. Now I'm freaking out and nervous and scared. And, Cecil, do your job. You're supposed to kill these things. Actually, my cat is very good at that. I know during the last summer at least, he kicked the shit out of him some cockroaches. Especially in the garage. He likes to run around in the garage sometimes, because it's got lots of fun stuff for him to jump on. Granted, none of it can hurt him, so he knows better. But we'll walk into the garage, and we'll see, like, 5 dead roaches, and I'm like, oh! Cecil beat the shit out of them! And he's a good boy, too, because if he tried to eat one, it would actually hurt his tummy. He can't eat those. He's eaten bugs before. I know he's eaten spiders. I think he ate a moth once. What else? He also loves chasing flies, but he's just cute. But roaches will hurt Kibby tummy. Do not let your cat ever eat a roach. It will hurt their stomach. But he doesn't eat them. He just kicks the shit out of them and then leaves the bodies and evidence of his deed. And we give him a greenie for his good job, because he's a good little baby, good little hunter. But he's a good boy. We just clean up the evidence of his crime. Anyway, now that that spook is over, we have our 5 main settlements that I've put down, and these are the big ones that you could probably see if you flew over them. But there's probably going to be like a little bitty settlements like littered inside of here, but the trees are so big you wouldn't see it, so I'm not going to worry about that. So that is how you determine where your people are going to live. Now, this is just for humanoid people, such as humans and elves, people who don't have any, like, crazy quirks about them. Hello, Pats, how are you? I'm doing good. Oh, speaking of which, today is actually the last week I'm going to be doing world building by myself, because next week I want to try and pull on a guest. And depending on how many people, is how many weeks I'm going to be doing that. And then we're going to hop back in for a brand new segment of world building, where I go a little hard mode. Not too crazy, but the race that I worked on, the Trakovish, my underlings, they were humanoid that lived underground. And while yes, they had a lot of traits to them that were different than humans, they were still essentially just humans in terms of body shape. Yeah, they had pointy ears, but their structure was basically the same as a human. So next week, I want to work, or not next week, but a few weeks from now, I want to start working on a new race that has different physiology. I'm probably going to work on either an insectoid race or a race of dwarf that I've been thinking of for a while that I want to play a twist on. And you guys can figure out that twist later. But yeah, how are you, Pats, by the way? I don't know if I asked that. I probably did, but I'm asking again. Oh, also since I'm here, I'm going to make a road for my people. Let's make it about 5. Yeah, that works. So I have a little road here, and they're going to have these pathways connecting to each other. Like so. Or maybe I should do this. I like that a little better. Man, it looks dumb. Probably because it's really white. Doing good, just chilling at the moment? Nice. I don't know if you were here, but I'm actually the opposite of chill now. I'm freaking out a little bit because I had to deal with some garbage, but it's okay. I'm good. Let's see. Boop boop boop. Let's add all this in. I'm gonna add in a few more trees just to decorate it a little. I also need to get rid of, or rather, I'm going to move these. Get them out of the ocean. There we go. Okay, I think that's good. I just need to really clean everything up, like this. There we go. And maybe I'll have one more river. Granted, I don't know where I would put it, but just maybe one more, just to line with this city. Nah, it looks silly. Sorry to hear that. Dealing with garbage sucks. Oh no, people got to hear it on stream. It's not it wasn't like anything bad. It was just a bug decided to spook me. He scared me. Alright, I'm gonna have some more rivers, having some fun over here. And also up here. And also, I'm gonna move up here and add in a few more settlements. Let's see. Oh, I could put a temple! Let's grab this temple. So, I'm gonna plop down a temple. Maybe there's a temple in the middle of the nowhere. Like, maybe here. Boop! Let's say this temple is like an ancient artifact or whatever. Let's do another temple. I want to put it here. Boop. There we go. So, these are little spots of interest. That maybe, look, because, hey, sorry I can't stay, so you went live and wanted to pop in and say hi, and hope you have a good day, and happy Pride. Thank you, Pixelate Faye. And yeah, it is Pride Month. It's gonna be gay. It's gay month. Yeah. Fun fact, I believe it was 2020 or 2021. It was either last year or the year before. I actually, oh no, it was last year. Last June, I decided to draw like 30 of my OCs holding their respective pride flags. And it was really fun, but also my brain hurt by the end of it because I was drawing at least 1 to 2 characters a day. And I was like so tired and exhausted by the end of it, but I was so proud of it. I think I've shown those off more than once on stream. I don't remember if I've done it recently though, and it was really fun. Alright, so yeah, these maps, I'm assuming you'll be making for D&D. Or for keeping up your story. Like, let's say you're writing a book, and you want to keep up with the geographic locations of everything, and you're like, gonna go now, I'll catch up with your stream VOD after making dinner. Of course! And yeah, happy Pride! Happy Pride, everybody! It is officially gay month. Alrighty, let us look for a few more notable places of interest. Let's make some ruins too. Let's say there's ruins over here, because let's say a long time ago people lived here and then maybe something happened, maybe a river dried up or something, and people haven't been on this side of the mountain in such a long time. So I'm gonna put some ruins here. Maybe there's some ruins on the island too. Maybe people can't get to the island anymore. Also, maybe someone decided to put a settlement here. So let's grab this. Actually, let's use another one to denote that it's another culture. I don't want to use Elvish buildings, and I don't want to use Dwarvish. Let's use desert. I like the desert-looking ones. Ooh. I'm gonna put a pyramid. Let's put pyramids on our world. Let's make it smaller. I'm gonna put a pyramid here. Boop. But yeah, this is assuming you guys would be making maps for a world setting where you need a complete visual at all times. Whether that be for a story, because your character does a lot of exploration. Maybe it's a D&D session and you need a map because you need to know where everyone's going to be going or where they can go. So you could easily throw in a few extra tidbits here and there, like ruins and temples and pyramids or whatever it makes sense for your world, just so you can figure out, hey, this would be an interesting spot for my players to explore, or hey, this would be an interesting spot for my character to be in for a while to intrigue my audience. You know, just nice little notable spots. Let's see here. Let's go up here real quick. I don't want to use elvish buildings for this, but I might have to, because the desert buildings are all asymmetric, and it's fucking with me. Fuck it. I'll just put this down here. Let's say... Yeah, let's say I have a civilization smack dab in between these rivers. This looks so silly. Alright, so this is going to be my map. Now, this is going to be like a barren wasteland at the moment. There's probably some civilizations here and there, especially nomadic ones. Because, fun fact, a lot of savanna-like civilizations endure nomadic lifestyles because they can't settle anywhere. They have to move... They have to move with the cattle that they are taking care of. I believe they're called the Himba? The Himba are one of them. The Himba are a nomadic species. They're a nomadic culture of people. And they typically follow their cows, their cattle. And I believe goats as well. That's because the savanna is very sparse of greenery, so whenever a troop of cattle is done grazing in this spot, there's pretty much nothing there. They can't just move like 20 feet away and find a new patch of grass to drink or eat. That's completely gone. They have to move miles to go and find the next patch of food for the animal. So humans, specifically the humans of this area, this culture has learned to go with them. So you will find extremely nomadic people in areas where the animals are constantly moving. The Algonquiners and the Sami are another kind of people that do that, but they follow reindeer. Specifically the Sami. The Sami actually pretty much, they don't worship reindeer, but they hold reindeer in a very high reverence. Because without reindeer, they would literally not be able to live. They use reindeer for food, clothing, transportation, literally everything. So they make sure they take very good care of those things. And they are a semi-nomadic people. They have to follow the grazing trails of these reindeer, or they will die, because they need the food. So you will hardly ever see settlements in areas like this. So you can take that into account whenever you're writing your story or doing your D&D session. You're going to have areas where people don't really settle. So if your player or your characters are going through this region, like say they need to cross this desert for some reason to get to wherever they're going next, they're not going to run into a city or a town, really, at all. They'll run into people, but they'll be running into basically moving cities, because it'll be dozens of people moving all at once together. So they could come into contact with many a nomadic people. And I think that'd be an interesting, fun little romp for whatever you have planned for your players. So now that I've covered all of that, I'm thinking of zoning in one more time. And I'm thinking of doing it here. And I will show you why. So this has been saved. So I'm going to zone in one more time on this island. Let's go. And here we go. Yeah, it takes a minute when you're resizing, because it needs to figure out the new dimensions it has to take up. There we go. Alrighty, so this is my new map. Well, I'm gonna go lurk. Best of luck with the map making. Thank you, Pats! And have a good lurk. Alright, so let's clean this up. I'm going to erase some of this to clean it just a bit. There we go. And now I can clean this island up even more than what I did previously. Like so. And this is going to be an island that I want to focus on. Let's say my players are on this island, and they need to map it out, or they already have a map of it, and I need the map for some reason. There we go. Cleaning up. That looks fine. Okay, that looks fine. But I do need to take a picture, just like I did last time, to make sure I keep everything where it is. As such. There we go. And now I'm going to remove all of this stuff, because I don't need it. I'm also probably going to go over this real quick, so I can make the textures a lot nicer. There we go. That looks pretty nice. I'm also going to add in some tiny islands here and there. Once again, you wouldn't have seen these on the usual map, but here I want to show them off. I want to make a couple of islands that a lot of people wouldn't worry about drawing in. There we go. And now I'm going to color all this with the better textures. Oh. I see, the textures are staying the same resolution. How do I change that? I see. I have figured out how to change that. Interesting. Let me fix that with the new resolution of texture. There we go. So yeah, apparently you can change the resolution of texture. That's cool. Alright. So I'm going to use my newfound knowledge of my textures. I'm going to color in the edge here, where my mountains are going to line up. Oh, and I'm also going to grab my mountains. Oh, these mountains big. And these are the mountains that I was indeed working with earlier over there. Now, in the original map, yes, I made the mountains just green, because I said, fuck it. I don't know how to have regular green-ass mountains. But now that I do know how to have regular green-ass mountains, I'm going to utilize them. As such. There we go. And there was a giant plethora of mountains here, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do the same thing here. There we go. Load this area up with mountains. And I'm probably going to keep the greenery that I've been playing with. What is this? Oh, no. That is a greenery that does not have good textures. Hold on. I'm just fixing my textures, don't mind me. There we go. That does not want to move. That's frustrating. Whatever. I am going to use this to fill this in. And we're not going to really be messing with this side of the place because we're focusing on the island right now. Like such. So remember, the water is brushing onto this side of the mountains. So it's not going to be as green, but it's still going to have some greenery. Such as this. Maybe not that orange. Let me turn down the texture of the orange so that it looks a little better. There we go. Also, I'm going to add in a bit of the sand texture just to make sure it looks okay. There we go. And now we're going to do the lush, lush dark green and put it on this side. And maybe a bit on this side, like so. There, that looks lovely. So since we're so zoomed in, we can actually make little rivers here too. Now, originally I was making just rivers that we could really see in that bigger region, and I didn't add any rivers onto the island, but that's okay. We can do that here. And the reason I didn't do that is because the rivers on the island are probably smaller than the main region, because the main region had a huge mountain range that a huge river is from. A la, like, Amazon River. So I'm gonna have a tiny river. Oh, I'm on the ad. I'm silly. Alright, so I'm gonna subtract it and make a river here. Maybe not like that, though. Let's have a river do this. And then I'll have it split off into about here. Because remember, rivers will find basins to flow into. And let's give it its own little, like, system over here. Let's give it its own system here. And same over here. Let's have this all flowing in onto the main river. Cora! Cora! Welcome in, Raiders! Hello! Yes, thank you. Oh, you were doing art?
It's a good ending.
It is?
Yeah. Stockholm syndrome.
Honestly, I don't know how to feel about that.
yeah, this is the good ending, and I'm like, I feel like the neutral ending is better. I mean, the bad ending is infinitely worse. I'm not gonna lie to you. The bad ending, terrible, terrible.
Not just juggling on the horn. Oh. But yes, welcome in Raiders. Hello, for those of you who do not know me. I am Desmond Dracula, a vampire bat butler, also known as a battler. I go by he, him pronouns, and I like to draw, as well as world build on Wednesdays. So soft, Lamau, sorry. No, you're good. I also play a variety of games from RPGs to roguelikes. And thank you, Corelia, for trusting your lovely individuals with me. How was your art, by the way? Me want to know. I really like art. Also, from what you heard in my intro, I world build on Wednesdays, and guess what today is? So we're actually world building today, where I'm going over how to make maps. I tried. We finished the main goal. Oh, that's good! I had to move something. But that's always nice, to be able to finish something like that. But yeah, today it is World Building Wednesday, and I'm showing people how to make their own maps. And yes, while it takes a lot of factors into account, that doesn't mean it needs to be hard, necessarily. Let's just do this. And right now I'm adding in a series of rivers from my mountain. Because for those of you who are new and coming in, I've gone over why and how you make mountains and rivers. Whoa, hey there. And how this influences civilizations. And more often than not, water that passes over mountain ways when it's raining really hard will actually trap water into these mountains, turning these big mountains into essentially really high up lakes, and these lakes over time will pour water from the mountain as a freshwater deposit, so you will actually see a lot of these little like veins of rivers coming off of mountain ranges because they're coming out of the mountains. The water is literally springing out. So that's what we're doing. We're putting down mountainous rivers that are flowing off of each other and into the basins of the lowest part of the continent, which for us right here, this is an island, so for us it's right here. And I might have maybe one or two rivers coming off from over here and meeting with that as such. So like this. Something like this. Might have another river coming off of this mountain. I think that's very pretty. And then maybe I'll have one more mountain with a little river coming at about here. There we go. Those are going to be the rivers of my island. Now, we're ignoring this side of the land at the moment. Even though it does have its own stuff, we're focusing on the island. Because let's say, like I said, this is a D&D session. You're playing D&D, and you're DMing this session, and your players have ended up on an island, and they don't know how they got here. Let's say they're stranded, and let's say one of them has cartography making skills, and he decided to make a little map. You could show him this and say, hey, draw your best attempt at a map. And if maybe he rolls a nat 19 or 20, you could just hand this to him and say, here you go, you did that. But that's just one scenario out of many. Maybe you're focusing your story, like maybe you're writing a comic or a book, and you're focusing it primarily on this island. Boom. But I did zoom in, because this started out as a world map, and then I zoomed in on a continent, and now I'm zooming in on an island of that continent. So we're actually going to probably see buildings and like settlements here, which is what I'm going to work on now. There's probably a few trees here and there as well, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to add in just a bit of trees. Maybe trees some here. Oh, those are a little small. Let's make them just a bit bigger. Oops. There we go. Let's make the trees a little bigger. And I'll have them line the mountain here, because the mountain is very lush and green. And also, trees are nature's way of keeping things from flooding and also eroding certain parts of the continent. So maybe these trees are making sure that the mountains don't get eroded super quickly. Now, I'm going to do the same thing over here. We'll add in some trees. Maybe some more here. And you didn't see this on my big map, but this is just because I'm zoning in on this little island now. Oh, and since we've found all these little rivers, I can actually go in with a color like this, and we can follow that river with the color of green because there's a lot of greenery near the rivers because of all the fresh water that it has an abundance of. Like so. There we go. So that river has the lush greenery around it. Same thing over here. We're going to have a lot more green in this region. Let me turn it up a bit. There we go. And that's because of the river coming from the mountains. And there we go. And I'll also do that over here. There we go. Now we have our little green spots for our rivers. Now that I have that, I can figure out where our trees are going to go. So I've been using the, like, not swamp, but like the rainforest trees, jungle trees, for everything so far, because jungle trees are pretty crazy. They thrive in this kind of stuff. But I'm not going to have too many on the map. Let's have some trees here. I'm not going to put too many. I don't want them to detract from the rivers. But they will be following the rivers and also cluster in between them like this. And figuring out where the trees are, I'm also going to figure out eventually where people are going to be living. Because fun little tidbit, people will put down their civilization next to rivers and where there's a lot of trees. Which, coincidentally, will also be where rivers are. Because we need water to live, and we can't necessarily drink ocean water without dying. We can't even do that in a modern sense. We can't even figure out how to filter ocean water very effectively. Not like we can spring water. We'd much rather work with spring water than ocean water. So imagine people who don't have that kind of industrial technology. They are going to rely solely on these rivers. Alright, so these are my trees and my rivers, and as you can see here, it's more lush because there's a lot more water passing through here. But there's not a whole lot over here. Maybe there's some trees over here, but I'm going to make them swamp trees. Like so. I'm also going to have some swamp trees here. And maybe a bit of swamp tree in between these. Like such. Also, for those of you who want to do this yourselves, this is a website called Incarnate. I can do this to let you guys see it. But this is the website I'm using to do this. It is a lovely website. It's a free website. Granted, I don't know if everything I'm using is free, because I do have the premium version. I'm not sponsored, by the way. It's just a really good website. But, yeah, I don't know if you'd be able to use the full aspect of everything you see me doing here. But you can use a lot of their stuff still. And you can use a lot of their brushes. And you can save and download your images. Even as a free product. It's really good. It's a really lovely website. And if you want the full scope of this stuff, I do know that their subscription is $25 a year, which I went hell fucking yes. That is cheap as hell. Actually, I need a calculator. Me am dumb. Divided by 12. Okay, so that's literally $2 a month to do this, and it's beautiful. It's like $2.08 a month. It's a really good program. Alright, so now that I have all this stuff done, remember when I put down my temple? I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna plomp it right here. Hello, little temple. And then I put down some ruins as well. But I'm gonna put down multiples this time. Just to kind of simulate that, hey, there's buildings over here that have been ruined. Let's see. Like, it's not just one icon, it's multiples. Is there more ruins I can put down? Kind of. I'm actually gonna put a temple here, too. And maybe a little bit, a semblance of a, nope. A semblance of a city near this temple. What city do I want to use? I'll just use these. I don't want to use the orc stuff, but I can't think of anything else to use. Everything else just looks like traditional medieval. Alright, so yeah, let's just have some buildings here and there. And look at that! Look how nice that is! And this is going to be my island. This is clearly broken up. And this is a civilization, or a bunch of settlements, that live near rivers. Because, once again, you want to live near rivers, or you're not going to really survive. So you will see, more often than not, civilizations near rivers, as such. Rivers also act as really good borders. So, if let's say this is, the island is actually pretty small. But if this was bigger, let's say it was a continent or whatever, this area where these rivers are would be a pretty good indicator for a kingdom. They would be like, no, this is our area, you can fuck off. And same thing over here. Water's a pretty good natural barrier, so are mountains, because it's harder to cross in terms of warfare. The people who are invading will always be at a disadvantage because of these natural barriers. Also, let's say this area, there were two kingdoms. It would be a lot easier for invaders to take over and unify it into one kingdom. So if you ever want a story with a war campaign in it, that's another way you could figure it out. You know, is there a civilization or a country that's over the mountain? Are they the invaders? Are people trying to invade them? You know, what's going on with all that? Now, I'm going to zoom in a final time, and I'm probably going to hone in on this temple, because I want to build a city, which is what this has been accumulating to. So, we're going to scooch this thing, and I'm going to go... Oh, well, but first, before I do that, I need to save this map, I'm gonna save it as 3. Because like I said, I have no idea what to call any of this. While that's saving, I'm actually going to go to Incarnate. We're going to go look at the maps. Map 1, Map 2, and now Map 3. So I'm going to show you guys what I've been doing. Okay, so new Map 2 is saved, and I'm going to show you where I've been zooming in, and we can see how the details change. So this was the original world map that I messed with. Look how big and beautiful it is. And then I zoomed in here. I pulled myself in to this region, and I went boop. Here we are. So you can see that I went this way and zoomed in on this part of the map. Is it this spot? Yes, it is this spot. Specifically, it was right here. As you can see. Oh, no, it's this. I zoomed in on this. As you can see. There we go. Yeah, that's the spot we zoomed in on. Here, I'm gonna do this, actually. It'll help. So yeah, whenever I started this journey, I zoomed in roughly on this spot of the world map, which gave us this. And then I zoomed in even farther on this. And then that's what created this. And now we're going to zoom in a final time, because I want to create a city. I'm going to gather in about this much of the map. Maybe a bit more. Alright, that is what I want to do. It's not letting me confirm it. Why? Do I have to do it a certain... Ah, it has to be a certain size. Shitties. Alright. Yeah, let's make it this zone then. Right here. There we go. How much smaller can I make this? I want to make it as little as possible. Oh. Okay, so this is as small as I can make it. Let's go. Boop. New map. One more new map. Happy Pride Month! Happy Pride Month, Ghost! Dancing. Ah. Oh, that was weird. Oh no. Oh no, my map broke. Oh no, my map broke. Shit. I'm gonna have to close out some of these. Now I'm gonna... it keeps skipping, so let's... Stop pausing my video, you rude thing. Alright, let's save this first before I lose all access to this, because apparently it's wanting to throw a fit. Because, okay, fun fact, or I guess unfortunately, Opera does not work well with incarnates sometimes, but I swear up and down by Opera. So I do not want to lose Opera, I guess. I don't want to go re-download Chrome and put so much pressure onto my CPU. Meh. So I'm going to see if I can get it to work again. There we go. Oh. Oh, it didn't load how I thought it did. Uh-oh. Let's go do that again. 'Cause my map looks like this. It completely deleted the landscape underneath. Uh-oh. Alright, so I'm gonna go fix that. I need to delete this map. This map completely ruined itself. Then again, now that I'm thinking about it, I could take a little picture of the region and completely redo it in the map. Because I want to show you something. I have an itch. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do instead. There we go. Okay, hopefully this works again. I redid it, and I'm hoping it doesn't fuck up again. Come on. It's loading and resizing, and I'm scared. Oh, okay, it worked. Okay. Alrighty, I did it. Here is my map. So, I'm going to take one more lovely picture. Oh, I just realized. The river looks different. But we're gonna take one more picture of this map. And I'm gonna bring it up here so I can see it. And I'm gonna go, wee, delete. Oh, dear. This looks so silly. Alright, so we're gonna put down my maps once more. Not my maps, my mountains once more. My lovely green, not that big though, my lovely green mountains. And we're going to make sure that they line up correctly here in what I see on my map. Alright. And now, we're gonna line it up with these rivers that came off of the mountain range. Because remember, rivers come from, for the most part, rivers can come from mountains. So let's just make sure this is all nice and mountainous. There we go. Lovely. I can also clean up these rivers, because they look kind of wonky, I'm not gonna lie to you. That's really interesting. The water underneath looks different. And I don't know why. Either way, it doesn't matter. I do need to go in here and clean this up, like this. And maybe I'll add a few more, like, tiny little rivers that wasn't seen in the big map. Like so. Whee! Oh, my cat just scared me. This works well, I guess. There we go. Now, I'm going to keep this little basin, because I really like it. It looks nice. And one more time, I'm going to move the texture down, and we're going to clean this up. And look at all those nice little rivers. Although here you can see it looks kind of silly. So we're gonna clean that up. Oh, I don't need it that big. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna clean up my river. There we go, like that. Because these are little details that I couldn't have seen when I was zoned in as far as I was. But now that I'm here, I can see it perfectly. And I know what I need to clean up. There we go. Also, I may add in a few little lakes like this. Because tiny lakes actually come from... well, sometimes, actually, they come from when rivers split off from each other, because rivers are not straight lines. Rivers are very windy, very twirly. And over time, these twirls actually start getting farther away from each other, like this. Let's say this crescent moon starts wading this way over time. Or let's say it starts coming in again, because rivers are not permanent. They will find different ways to go depending on what makes an easier path. And over time, these paths start to cut off and make these little crescent moon lakes, which slowly start to fill in as normal lakes. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to be adding in just a few lakes here and there where the rivers clearly cut off at some point. Like so. And maybe I'll have a lake here. Maybe not that big. I'll make a lake right here. Have it just chillin'. Yeah, that looks good. And I want to erase some of this because I want this to stay a basin. This looks really nice. Like so. I'm also probably going to do this. There we go. Okay, I have my rivers, I have my lake. Now we're going to put down the new colors that have the textures changed, just like I did a bit ago. And I'm going to follow everything. Oh, that's way too green. I lied. Let's grab the other green. There we go. Much prettier green. And I'm going to use it to really decorate this area with a pretty, pretty green. And I'm going to put it mainly on this side of the river because it will be pushing it with the mountains. I have an itch. No, I have an itch. Why? Alright, I'm good. Ugh. Thank you, Coralia. Alright, so this should be good. Stretch my wings. Thank you, Kara. Ugh. 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 I just popped something. And a sippy. Thank you. Ow. And a snack. Oh. Health time. Thank you. Num num num. Actually, I will be right back. I'm going to go grab something. See you guys in a couple of minutes. I have snack. Hehe. Ugh. Alrighty. How to open? There we go. Num num num. I grabbed a little tiny packet of Oreos, cause cookies. It's not the healthiest of snacks, I'm sure, but I don't have like snack foods at the moment. That's okay. I can just pop a little Oreo in my mouth. Ow. Okay. So I'm gonna use this green. Maybe not. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh. But I am gonna use a little bit of it to kind of fill in this darker, like not as green area. Like this, because I don't want everything to look super green. It's only going to be really green, like near the rivers. Like so. And maybe at the lake, maybe just a bit. Maybe as a treat, the lake gets some, as a treat, the lake gets some green. There we go. And also as a treat, the river basins get green, lush, beautiful green. Like so. Let's turn that up a bit more, actually, and let's just go to town on the rivers here. I also might go in and recolor the water, because you can actually do that in this program. And I'll show you what I mean. So right here, you can see that this is the foreground layer that I'm on. If I go to the background layer, it will allow me to color the water. Now, let me see what kind of water I would want. I do like this green. Let's see what it looks like. That is pretty. Look at these rivers. Beach. Look how pretty that is. So these are going to be my rivers. This is going to be my river color. Because that is pretty. That is a very pretty, more shallow green blue, instead of the blue I was using. And the reason I'm making this adjustment is so, one, we can see it better, but two, to denote that it's more shallow. Oh, I'm still in the foreground, or still in the background. Alright, so I'm gonna grab the super green. Let's make it a little smaller. But I'm going to have it very low opacity. And I'm just going to use it a little bit here and there on the rivers and lakes. Like here. And I'm just going to follow the rivers in rough streaks. And this is going to be my more lush vegetation. There we go. Also, I just realized I need to clean this up. It looks really silly. There we go. There we go. Oh, hi, Kibby! My cat papped me. No, you cannot have my snack. My cat gave me a pap to say hello, snuggle. Leon, you can have snack, but you are not Kibby. Hi, Kibby. Oh, goodness. I don't know if you guys heard that, but he got mad at me. I'm trying to snug him, because he wants my Oreos. Get out of here. Stop it. Help. Go on, Cecil. Come on, move your butt. Cecil, thank you. Don't eat Leon's Oreo. That's rude. Hi. Alrighty, now that he has been placated, I'm going to finish this. So, I did say I wanted to work on my own city. And there's this fun little thing that this program lets me do, if I have the full version. It lets you make different types of maps. If you were to create new map, and you click, like, here, let's do it real quick. That's not it. If you were to click Create New Map, it's going to give you these options, or at least it's going to give me all these weird options. And this is the option I'm on Fantasy World. And it lets you make these different maps. Now, that is what this is, right here. Oh. Okay, there it goes. But that's what this is. These styles and packs, these are all from these different options. And I have Fantasy World currently on because that is what I'm using in terms of packs. However, if I wanted to turn a map that I was working on into a new one, or if I wanted to use the assets, I could easily just go to those assets. Like, this is parchment. This is, you know, a more traditional cartographer's brush set. And this is for Fantasy Regional. This is what I'm probably going to be using. And look at that. Look at all these options. Look how lovely this is. So I'm going to use this. You can even put people down, which is really fucking cool. But I'm going to use this as a... not template, but as a starting point for my my area here. Sorry, that was just a really big a really big temple. So I'm going to shrink the temple to about where I think it would be. Like this, maybe. And using the old map that I took a picture of, I'm going to determine where everything is put down. So the temple was at about here. And then there was another city over here. I'm actually going to make it just a bit smaller. And I'm also going to... that's another temple, that's a temple, that's a building, building, tower. Let me look through all these real quick. I could probably do this. Have some stone monuments here and there. Oh, I see. It's not going to treat it as such. Okay, so, when looking at these little stamps, I'm calling them stamps because they're what you stamp onto the map, you will see these numbers here once in a while. These numbers show how many are in that. So, for instance, if I click on this temple, there's only one temple that I can work with. But if I were to say, click these karsts, and it says show 9 of them, there's 9 here, so that whenever I'm running my brush around the map, it uses them randomly. See? See how it hops back and forth here? That's because I'm using them in random intervals. And that's how you get those random trees, those random mountains, and it breaks up monotony. Because monotony is how things look fucking dumb and boring. If everything looks the same, it's gonna look stupid. At least that's how, as far as I've been able to figure it out. So I'm kind of sad now, because apparently none of these jungle buildings have those numbers. See, like here, this desert building has it, and that's because if I draw with them, you see how there's like all these different buildings that show up? And it looks really nice, but it's for the desert. I mean, maybe I could use it for my jungle, but still, bish. Bliff, bliff. Ooh, fountains. Oh, I can't, I can't do what I'm used to doing with the fountains. I see there are fountains here, though. So I don't think they'd ever have any fountains. They don't need fountains. Not the jungle people, at least. See, orcs don't have it. Dwarves have it. See, dwarves have these, buildings that show up differently. Like this. Like that. So now I'm at a crossroads here. Hmm. I also don't want to use any, like, elvish or dwarvish stuff, because, one, it looks like traditional Lord of the Rings. Whoa, bones. Oh shit, there's bones in this. I didn't even realize. But yeah, I'm gonna need a minute to figure out how I'm going to denote this city. Guess I could put down... I guess I'll just put down jungle stuff. Because I want this to look like a city of some sort. So, I'm going to put these down. I think that looks okay. Maybe this is like a really old temple structure, and these tents denote that people have been living here maybe recently. Like, maybe they're just now setting up camps around these temples. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So let's have these plonk and plonk. There we go. Let's grab a couple more. Put them down. There we go. Yeah, I'm having to, like, bounce back and forth between a bunch of tents to make it look somewhat broken up from the monotony. This one's good. And... Pew. Goodbye, bot. I shot him dead. Let's do this one. This is nice. Okay, so this is going to be my little, I guess, not really town, but more like a town kind of clustering around this really old temple. Maybe the temple was there first, and these people moved in. Because you can see the disparity between these buildings. These are like old ruins and stuff. Maybe this is like a really... It started off maybe as like an archaeological dig site, and then it slowly accumulated into maybe a civilization or like a little town. And maybe it's like a town of archaeologists almost. Or maybe that's like the most common profession. But they also have people moving in that are... clothies, farmers, ranchers, husbandries, people who do that kind of stuff. Because it's slowly becoming a settlement, and maybe they're becoming less dependent on import goods because they have their own stuff. And it's doable because they have a lot of water nearby. So maybe up here in the north, they might have some plants and stuff, like some farmland. Let's see if I can put down farmland. Alright, this is the best farmland I can find. So yeah, maybe they have farmland up here. Something like this. You know, just hanging out. And let's give them a few more buildings. gonna give them a few more tents here and there. All piling up around the temple, like so. And then maybe we'll have a few tents near the farming area. As such. Alright, so this is going to be my little settlement. And this is how you make yourself settlement maps. Oh. Oh dear. Did the program not delete these? Oh, no fucking wonder it got pissed. I had a bunch of, like, artifacts outside of the map. That's not good. Alright, I don't have any more out here. Alright, let me delete this. Oh. Okay, we should be good now. Nope, I lied. Okay, now we're good. Yeah, now I figured out why it was so fucky. Because it's an asshole. I'm gonna name it this. Alrighty, and I did add a civilization over here as well, and I'm starting to think, even though I put this lake here, that lake is actually probably why people are settling here. But I'm going to use a different architecture to what I was doing with the jungle here. Because you see I used, like, jungle campfire and all that, but I did it in the mode of archaeology. So here, I'm gonna put down some orc stuff. That orc is huge. Big building. Blorg. But I'm gonna start putting down some orcish buildings. Here and there. Is it a good size? Yeah, this is a good size. Okay, so these are gonna be my outposts. And we're gonna just start dropping down orcish town stuff. Stuff like that. And let's break up the monotony with some extra orcish buildings. Let's get this big one. I like this big one. Get it. There we go. Okay, so that's going to be our orcish, quote-unquote orcish, settlement. I'm actually going to scoot it just a bit closer to the lake. And maybe, because I have this little dude hanging out, maybe it's like sitting next to the lake. Maybe it's like a little outpost to watch over the river on this side. Maybe they've had issues with people on that side for a while. And now finally we'll add in our trees. Lovely trees. Jungle trees. I believe these are the same jungle trees from the regular. Yeah, there we go. Let's make the trees a little bigger. About like that. Okay, Now I'm gonna line up the mountainside, I guess, with trees. And you can see that they have shadows coming off of them, apparently. Look at that. They normally don't have that, but for this, they do. Or they do have that, but for this, it's a lot heavier. Actually, it's a little too jarring. Let me go grab my fantasy world trees. These look better. At least to me. Oh, those is very small. I sucked in too hard. I got excited. Ryza! Hi, Ryza. How you doing? Yeah, I shouldn't have. I breathed in stupid because I got excited. How are you doing, buddy? I got excited to see your name. Alrighty, I'm gonna line up. No, actually, the trees need to be a bit smaller than that. Let's do this. I peek. You do peek. I appreciate and welcome you every time you peek. Oh, Himiko. Yes, it's the homie. It's Ryza. Alright, I'm going to fill in this area with some trees. Also here, some trees. Because there are a boatload of rivers here that I've made. And I'm going to have the trees kind of dancing around the settlement just a bit. Because maybe they've cleared out the trees. Because there's probably a fuck ton of trees still crowding this area because it is ruins. And just like in the Amazon and in South America, there are ruins that are completely filled to the brim with trees. There we go. That should work. I'm just gonna do this and make it start spreading out a bit. There we go. Yeah, my throat hurts now from the way I breathed. And these trees here are probably keeping these rivers from going completely haywire. Because remember, trees prevent flooding. So these trees are probably making sure the rivers don't get too out of whack and create like a really big issue. As such. There we go. Yes, I know I've done a lot of changes, program. Do not worry, I will save. You don't gotta be scared for me. There we go. Now let's thin out that herd. Oh, I got scared. Yeah, sadly, this website... Man! Well, this is frustrating. Let me go try and fix that again. Please don't tell me it saved it completely blank. Oh, okay. Fuck! It's not showing the land again. Incarnate, I know you don't like opera, but could you please pretend you could play? Nice! What? Oh no, it's not working. Look at this dumb shit. Look at this. It completely removed the land. So now you just see the water underneath. This is frustrating. And look, I can't add more. It's not letting me. Well, that's frustrating. I worked on that. Damn it! And it looks just fine in the original website. So I don't understand why it's acting out like this. Well, okay, I do. It's just, it doesn't go well with Opera, because it yells at me. It's like, no, we need Mozilla or Chrome, and I'm like, I don't want either. I want Opera. Opera good. Give Opera, please. SMH my damn head. Okay, I have an idea. What if I cloned it? What if I cloned the map and I edited that one? Would that work? Nope, it won't work. Hello, Meowski. Welcome back. I'm struggling. What happens if I publish it? I'm not gonna publish it. Edit details? No. Because look what's happening to my map, Meowski, since you're back. Every time I try to load it, it makes it lose the the land that I put down. So I'm gonna try and what happens if I export it as an image? Oh god. You just do not see it, do you? Huh. Hello, Raven Dramatic, and happy Pride Month. I don't want to start over. I don't want it. Angry. You know what? I've shown how to zoom in. I've shown how to get to a city. So, for D&D. As well as whatever other story you want to do. So I'm going to do something a little different here. Is it Fantasy Regional? Fantasy? I'm going to do something a little differently here. We're going to create a brand new map. Let's say we're zoomed in on an ancient city. Oh, my map crashed. I was watching The Verdict to make foods. So I'll be lurking for a bit. Also, you got this. Oh, is it the Verdict? The dumb shit that's been happening? Yeah. Let me know the verdict, because I want to know. I want to know how that goes. I'm sure Twitter will be blowing up about it later. But if you get the news before I end stream, I would love to know. Oh. Oh, it's good news. Okay, good. Alrighty. How do I do this? Alright, so this is a completely new map that I'm going to be messing with. And let's say that city, that ancient city that I had built up, let's say I'm going back in time. Okay, so fun little thing that we're going to play with here. I'm going to pretend that my players have just gone back in time because maybe they went through a portal that was in this ancient archaeological dig site, and I want them to experience the day that this place crashed and burned, pretty much. I'm also sadly going to have to delete that map because it did break, and I'm going to have to refix it, but that's fine. But we're going to load in the old map. I need to learn to save it more often so it's not breaking on me every 2 seconds. But let's go look at the old map real quick. I'm going to take a little sneaky picture so that I can have it for reference. And I'm going to come in here. I'm going to fill it in with land first. And now I'm going to subtract. We're going to erase. Like so. It's going to do this weird, interesting line because I'm making a river for it. So I'm going to do this. There's going to be my river. And then I'm going to put down... the river looks a little silly. Still looks silly. I'm going to worry about that later then. So let's make a top view of a map. Now, this is actually the first time I've messed with this kind of stuff before. Because look at this. I've never played with this before. It looks really cool. I've never messed with the brushes. Alright, so first things first, I need to find a giant building that represents a pyramid of an Aztec-looking design. Do I want to use this one or this one? Let's grab this one. Give. Okay. I like this one. So, because it's that big-ass temple, I'm going to zoom it out, and I'm going to go boop, and this is going to be where our board of civilization comes to. Actually, I'm going to use this one instead. This one's more pretty. I'm also going to make it a little smaller. Also, get out of here. There we go. So, this is going to be not necessarily the center point, but it's definitely going to be north of everything. And I'm also going to put down... Oh. I had it selected. But I'm also going to put down a few little pyramids here and there to act as... something like this. To act as, like, little hubs, little tiny hubs of different priest sections. And now let's go get some buildings. So what are these? I think these are stairs, hills, all that kind of stuff. And this is medieval. I don't want to use medieval. These are details that I don't really need. Also, sorry I thumped my mic a little bit. I had to itch my head. Blah. Let's see. Desert, winter. Oh, you can make, like, a cool winter civilization. Let's say I want to make a dope winter town. We could do this. Like, oh, look, winter town. It's pretty cool. Like, say you want to make your own... oh, what are those? Oh, what is that called? Like a waterbender city in the north or something. You could use those. Ooh, gothic horror. Yeah, this is my first time. Ghost Town? Bruh. You can make a ghost town. Look at this. Ooh, spooky houses. That's cute. Spooky houses. Alright, desert's all I can do. Even though it's technically not a desert. But it is adobe housing, so. Alright, let me do this. Fantasy city map. It's always good, by the way, to look up, just inspiration. Like, I googled fantasy city map, and it gives me a good, topographical view of cities. And it can be made in Incarnate, it doesn't have to be, but it can be. And it'll help you see how people line stuff up, and it'll give you a better idea of how to set up your own stuff. For instance, a lot of people have their cities either on shorelines or having a river cut through. So what I'm thinking is perhaps having my Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is have the city sits next to a river, but it doesn't necessarily cut through the river. So what I'm thinking of is having the river cut through like somewhere here, and then dip back up, and then have extra buildings above that. So let's scoot this down, and let's do that. I'm also going to need to recolor the ground as well as the water because it looks dumb. Not gonna lie, it looks kind of dumb. But I'll clean that up. Right now I just need to put down the buildings. Alright, let's delete all these. I don't need them. I have some references pulled up to help me with this. There we go. So, first thing I'm gonna do... Alright, I'm gonna put down some walls, first and foremost. Because they're going to consider the temple pretty important, and they want it to be... desert walls. They'll want their temples to be protected. To ask you a question about writing a story. Sure, go for it. I don't know how much, I'll be able to help, but I will definitely try. Alright, I'm gonna make a courtyard. Okay, oh, jeez. There we go. And now let's turn it. Or let's find one that turns. Well, that'd be cool. Have like a little archway. Hold up. I have an idea. Let's scoot this down. Like so. And this is going to be the courtyard for the building. And I'm going to add this archway. How do I flip it? I don't think I can. I think I have to rotate it. Yeah, I had to rotate it. There we go. Plump. Plump? looks okay, I guess. The unsure voice cracking. There we go. Click it in, kind of. Sort of. Here, let's fix this. Because this needs to be tilted just a bit more. And there we go. That's going to be my courtyard. That's okay. In your opinion, what do you think defines a good plot twist? Oh, thank you for the nice structure comment. Let's see. What's a good plot twist? Like, plot twists I personally like and think are good? That's tough. I like plot twists that give you characters or settings that have it seem like one set of characters are good and the others are like pure bad, and then it turns out shit's not what you thought it was at all. And you are the baddies. You're working with the bad guys. That's usually fun. I like those kind of, like, flips on your heads. Like, you think you're doing good, or you think the protagonist you're following is with good people, and then suddenly you realize, oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, they're the bad guys. Those are always good. Those are always fun. Because then you're just like, oh, shit. Who the hell can I trust? Shira? Oh, I've actually never seen Shira. Is that a part of Shira? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Did I just get spoiled? Did I just spoil myself on accident? Oh, it's in the beginning. Oh, okay. Whew. Yeah, I was about to say, oh, whoops. But I love those kind of stories. Where it's like, oh, I'm with the dicks. Oh. Whoops. Because then it puts not only the characters, but the audience in a really difficult position, because they're like, okay, well, we've watched these characters for a while, and we've heard good things about them, but now we don't even know what to think anymore. It's really fun. Yeah, no problem. I also really like plot twists where conspiracy theorists are actually right about something, and you're like, uh-oh. Uh-oh, and then shit happens that way. And people have to, like, revert shit to stop stuff from happening. I'm trying to stay vague about what I'm referencing here, because I am referencing different shows that I've watched. So I'm trying to be, like, vague about it. Alrighty. Tannery. No. Give me some buildings here. Give me some buildings here that I need. Small clusters. Noble desert blocks. Okay, so I'm gonna have noble blocks here. Because, see, this is going to be the temple, and then I'm going to have nobility living within this section. Yeah, that's definitely a jeweler. Noble desert buildings. Yeah, I'll have some nobility living here. I'm gonna do this. Whee! Actually, I have an idea. let's put down 1 or 2 more of these. And let's scoot them down just a bit to kind of give people an ability to... Oh, no, 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 no. Let's give people the ability to go in here, like this. And then I'm going to add... Let's see. Let's make it longer, like this. Make it easier. There we go. Let's... I say we can attach it right here, right? Yeah, that looks fine. And then we'll go here. Boop. And a boop. And I'll do that over here. If I could see. It's hard to see. My hand's on the way. There we go. Something like that. And now I'll straighten this out again so it doesn't get all stupid. I'm not going to curve it here. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. Because it doesn't need to be as curvy. Because with this, I wanted it to have this cool, nice little roundabout over this. But here, the buildings I'm going to actually, like, stuff with each other. Okay, let's grab a small block. There we go. Boop. Blippi! Blippi, you are not new. You little brat. But hi, for those of you who are new. I am Desmond Dracula, a vampire bat butler, also known as a battler. I go by he, him pronouns, and I like to draw as well as world build on Wednesday. I also play a variety of games from RPGs to roguelikes. And today is Wednesday, so we're world building. Right now I am showing off how I typically create maps, and we've just figured out how to basically zoom in. It is Wednesday, my dudes. Ah! You are right, Blippi. It is Wednesday. Alrighty, so I'm going to move this. I want some space. I want space for my people. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making a little city. And I'm working on, like, the nobles' quarters, pretty much. And I'm going to have my river be cutting through here soon. Actually, I might just do that now real quick. Because we had a river up here. And then I could have it cut through here and then come back up. As such. And then I'm going to have more of the city crossing that river. I think that'd look really cool. Alright, so now that I have all of these buildings put down, let's get it to 90. I think I'm going to block this up. And these are going to be spaces that people use to get in here. It also gives nobility extra spots to leave if there's ever, like, an attack or something. And maybe they'll have, like, secret passageways along these different walls. But for the most part, we don't know them, so we're not going to put them on the map. They probably have it, but we don't. Alright, so now we can go in and grab our noble houses. Because this is called Noble Desert Buildings. And I really like how they look. So I'm going to start plonking them in here to act as a bit of a neighborhood almost. This is where, like, the noble houses are and the noble families live. Actually, let's make it a bit better than that. Let's do this. Let's do something like this. Hold on. Let's scoot it up a little bit to give them some space to move around with each other. Like so. And this is going to be like a complex, not necessarily the royal family, but a complex where they can, where the noble family, or the noble, not necessarily noble families, but like just, noble peoples live. And then we will have these lifted off the walls just a bit, and people can go through here and here to get home. Same thing over here. We'll have a little bit of space here. There we go. And then in the center, let's see if I can't put down something nice. What are these? Stone domes. I want to add domes on the houses. Let's add domes to the houses, guys. I'm going to add a dome to the pyramid. You couldn't even stop me. I did it. Now let's add some extra domes. Yeah. Domes. Pretty golden domes. Look how pretty that is. Alright, now I'm gonna do that again. Oh, I need the buildings a little smaller. So I'm going to leave space here and here and here. Actually, I could do this. Textures. Oh, right. Textures. Let us find a good pathway. A good path color. I love these. Alright, I'm gonna use these. So we're gonna do this. Oh, I'm on background. I'm so silly. So we're gonna have streets. Now, does this work, or should I use another kind of street? I like this color better. It matches. So yeah, let's make some streets. I'm also going to have streets lining the temple like this. But I'm going to get, like, garden stuff to go around it. There we go. Lovely. Also, we need streets here. And this goes this way. And this goes this way. There we go. I'm also gonna have streetways like this, and these can be more gardens where people hang out and just do stuff. This house is a little too scooted forward. Let's scoot it up. There we go. I'll scoot this up too. And scoot these. There we go. That looks nice. And I can do that as well over here too, because like I said, these are going to be This could be like a noble area, and maybe the noble house. Let's see, where would a noble house be? Unless they're living in the pyramid itself. Because, in a lot of cultures, they actually saw their gods and their priests and their kings as kind of like one thing. Priests, were able to be a mouthpiece for their gods, and priests also usually ruled the land, especially in Egypt. And I believe sometimes in Mesopotamia, the term actually is priest king. So maybe the royal family actually lives in the main temple, or at least in the back end where the worship doesn't happen, and they have paladins or palatines, palace guards, that watch over the temple as well as the royal family. And then these houses are just for like the upper echelons of nobles and vassals. And then I could have another little thing over here that's also for vassals. So I think I'm gonna do that. Ow, ow, ow. Alright, I'm good. Check out back. Welcome home, master. Or should I say, Ada Ada? I know you didn't pay for it, but I know it's your weakness, so. Gremlin laughing. Oh, there he goes. Evil man. Yes, it is I, evil man. Alright, so let's put down 4 more little buildings. Here. Oh, here. There we go. Teehee. How you doing, though, Jacko? Alright, there we go. Now, I can do my pathway. Now, I still don't know if I want to put something in the middle. I don't think so. But I mean, it'd be nice. It'd look nice, at least. There we go. So I have the 2 noble neighborhoods. Black going into work in a bit. Oh no! I'm sorry, Jacko. Hopefully work treats you well, though. I'm gonna create a new map. I'm gonna save this before it breaks on me again and ruins everything. Because I don't want that to happen. Also, I just realized I could turn down the texture. Let's actually turn down the texture a bit. Okay, that should be good. That looks so much better. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this texture size. Looks very nice. Now let's come in here, make a road for my temple. And like I said, I'm going to go back in and add like gardens that surround it a bit. And it's probably going to be like personal gardens for the priesthood, as well as the noble houses and the noble families. I mean, yes, they still eat food from like the farms, but from this, it's probably like yummy, like fruits and like just for leisure. Also, I'm gonna keep doing this. There we go. Now, I don't know if I want this road to keep going down here and here, because it looks a little silly to me. But I mean, Better than nothing. Okay. Because it is their second way of getting out. So what can I put here in the middle? Because I want to put something, but I don't know what. I was thinking of fountain. Ooh, oh, that's an artist guild. That's pretty. Alright, where's a fountain? Ghost Town. You can't not have a fountain here. Are you kidding me? Where is it? I know you have a fountain. Here it is. I found a fountain. So, we're gonna just use this fountain. Let it chill. And the water can be a signifier of not necessarily wealth, but the ability to be able to use plumbing easily. And plus, it's just a nice little decoration. It's just nice to see. Oh, I popped my back. Oh, that felt great. Alright, now we can work on the actual town. Now that I have all where the nobles are holding up and being dorks. I don't want to use any of these guilds. I want to use actual buildings. Fortifications. Gatehouses. Oh, they might have gatehouses. Let's turn it real quick. Maybe something like this? What do the others look like? I like this one. So yeah, maybe they have something like this, where they keep people from entering here and here? Let's flip it over. And then they have them out here. Because, you know, what's more fun than living in a gated community because you're all rich, snobby assholes? Because that's how rich, snobby assholes like to live. They like to be very gated. Okay. Alright, that looks good. Let us go back in and grab some buildings. What is this? Oh, buildings. I'm thinking maybe these can be like pretty housing. Maybe not near the temple. I like the idea of the gardens being near the temples. But maybe these are lining the walls like this. And maybe they're not necessarily... I don't want to use the word inn or market, but maybe they are kind of like really high-end markets for like nobles and like high-end traders. So stuff like this, places like here, here, and here. Yeah, maybe this is just a giant market stall that people can walk through while going to the temple. Maybe it's stuff the temple sells people. Who knows? There we go. Oh! I accidentally erased it. I'm gonna scoot this over a bit just so we can have more room and space for people to walk through the main hub. Like so. And this is going to be like a big walkway. And then back here, it can just be like little crevices for people to come in and find other buildings. Whoa! Oh my god! Jackleback! Thank you for the 5 gifted subs to Yarrow, nice, Insomnia Oxide, Idzetter, Lenincolly, nice, and Shilkun, nice! Everybody got the new thing, you're so sweet. Thank you, Jackleback. Pata pata. That's very nice of you. Awa, awa. Now I have to get back to my brain. Bleh, my brain got fried for a second. Alright, gardens. I wanted to add in some gardens. Let's add some really pretty wonky looking garden things here. Cause this is the noble area. Maybe they'll have some weird, like, plants and stuff that they... Oh, what the hell? Oh man, it doesn't do the... It doesn't do what I thought it did. Let's use this kind of foliage. It's very pretty. Alright, I'm gonna add in some flora here and there in between these houses just to make it look nice. Like so. Just to have pretty colors. There we go. Something like this.
That was the same server, but I got
There! Look how cute that is. All these pretty flowers.
I just destroyed that deer so fast.
Yeah, I have a bit more space for them. There we go. Pretty. So, now that I've done that, I'm gonna put down some more regular looking trees and bushes like this. Some just regular bushes out here. Because since this is the noble place, of course they're gonna have more exotic buildings and exotic plants just to enjoy. But for the rest of the garden, I'm going to add in just some lovely little plants. Probably gonna line this up.
Bringing home stuff. I didn't worry.
Like this.
I got almost destroyed by a bear.
That looks nice.
Slightly worried.
Alright, and they'll probably keep this open so people can walk through and hang out and visit and sit down in the grasses. You know, a nice place of calm and relaxation. Something away from all the hustle and bustle over here. And then maybe they'll have trees. Just kind of stacking up here. And here. Just to add to the lush. And I'm gonna pretend this fourth little stall here doesn't work. Oops. Let me redo that. Okay, so I'm gonna give this a walkway, like here. And oh wait, it's fully over there. Okay, so I'm gonna do this then. Now let's find the green texture that is used for this, so I can do this. Whee! There we go. I should probably move this temple, though. This temple could do to be in the middle a bit more. Maybe like this? No, I have an idea. I have an idea. I'm going to delete these. And I'm going to scoot these up. Like so. There we go. That looks cool. And now I can scoot this down, and the temple is probably going to be attached, like so, to the... Oh, give me just a second. Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry about that. I got some news about Leon's mom. She's going through some stuff, and we wanted to make sure she was okay. And she's okay. Alright, let's clean this. Although, if I do in-stream a little early, you guys know why. Because we got news about her coming home, getting home, because she is undergoing some surgery, actually. But don't worry about it. She's okay. It's nothing like because she has anything threatening her. Oh dear. There we go.
Well, as long as she's in good spirits.
That looks fine. Should I... Oh. I'm gonna add more trees. Let's just stuff this area full of trees. Lovely. And then this is going to be gardens where people hang out. Can I put down benches or anything in here? I mean, there's waves. And rivers. Or snow hills, I'm sorry. I read that stupid. Natural stairs. Cliff composites. Okay, this is just like natural phenomena that I do not want to mess with. I'll line this place with some colorful plants. Let's have some pretty plants hanging out. There we go. Pretty. I'll also put a few here as well, just to add to the decoration. Like so. Because people will be living in here. And people like lovely plants and colors. Which is true for most human beings. So, there we go. I made the Noble Quarter. I'm actually probably going to call it, though, because I am wanting to check on Mama Soulguard, make sure she's okay. And also get a little stretchy. So, yeah, I am ending just a little earlier, but, you know, stuff does happen. But thank you guys for dropping in today. It was a calmer day today, as it always is during Worldbuilding Wednesday. But I don't mind it. I got rated by the lovely Cora, and thank you once again, Jacoback, to the 5 gifts and subs. That was very sweet of you. Let's hop over here to chat. Wow. It is I, a bat. But yeah, we're gonna hop out today, take a little rest, and make sure Mama Soulguard is doing okay. Also, I haven't... Oh no, he's playing League. I was gonna say, hey, let's go raid Sobi, and then I realized he's playing League. I'm like, oh no. Would people want that? I mean, I like League, not gonna lie. I love playing League. League's fun. But I don't know if everyone here will like to watch League. But fuck it. I already said I was going to, and I don't want to make a liar out of me. Also, I haven't rated him in a long time. He's really cool. Wait, what the hell? That's not League. Or is it League? This looks completely different. What kind of game is this? Hold up. All right, we're gonna go raid. We're gonna go raid a lovely soybean. So, for those of you who would like to spam a raid message at him and let him know that it's tea time, you can copy that. And it looks like this. It's very cute. However, if you do not have my emotes, that's fine. You can copy this. And you can let him know that a bat rave is coming. So, we're gonna go drop in on Sobi. And it seems like he's got Zetter. That's adorable. But yeah, I thought he was playing League, but now I can't tell. It looks like a asymmetric game, but it's laid out completely differently than what I'm used to seeing. Oh no, yeah, that's... Okay. Yeah, I think it is, but it's like a different game mode? I can't tell anymore. Anyway, let's go hop in and let's go see Soybean. So I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm probably going to be continuing Heaven's Vault because I love that game and I want to get to the end. It looks really cool and it feels like I'm almost there. And then Friday, I'm going to be hopefully once again doing Paper Mario with Leon. So until then, I will see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye!